session on MCA program. Today's Facebook live session on MCA program will focus on the structure of the MCA program, the prospects of doing MCA program, as well as what are the specialties of this particular MCA program. Of course, with me today is Dr. Akshay Kumar, who is our MCA coordinator, and myself, Professor P.V. Suresh, Director of School of Computers and Information Sciences of Indira Gandhi National Open University. Before starting, what I would like to tell you is that IGNOU is a NAAC A++ accredited university, the highest possible accreditation for any university by the NAAC, that is NAAC. Also, our MCA program is approved by AICTE. So there are many advantages in case you become an MCA degree holder from IGNOU, that you are getting MCA from a NAAC A++ accredited university, and then it is also an AICTE approved degree. And apart from these two advantages, there is one more big advantage. This particular MCA program was revised from January 2021 session. And this program is including many advanced topics which are in huge demand, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, big data analytics, and many more like computer vision, image processing. All these have become part of our MCA program, and anybody who joined MCA from January 2021 session onwards will be pursuing all these particular courses, and it automatically gives an edge to them when coming to placements in the market, because they are well equipped with all these latest courses. In case you have not studied these courses, maybe you have to get a separate training from joining some other organization, training organization. But here in the 2-year MCA program, you will be able to study all these courses, and you have a very big advantage of doing MCA from IGNOU. Now let me look at the objective of this particular program. The broad objective of the MCA program is to prepare the graduate students for productive careers in the software industry, academia, and research. Because the structure of MCA includes all such courses that in case you want to pursue research, yes, it is possible. In case you want to pursue a career in IT industry, yes, it is possible. In case you want to go for teaching, even then there are no issues. So this particular 2-year MCA program will equip you with all the skills that are needed, and if you want to pursue any path, there are no issues. It will enable you to pursue that without any further training in case you are doing the MCA program in 2 years.
Objective of the MCA program has already been talked with you. But what is the eligibility of this MCA program? As Professor Suresh talked about, this is AICTE approved MCA program, right? So eligibility is also as per AICTE. So there are two clauses basically. First one is, that is the students who have passed BCA, BSc Computer Science or Information Technology, bachelor's degree in Computer Science and Engineering or equivalent, that is BTech, BE, with at least 50% marks. So this is the necessary condition, that you should be a graduate of Computer Science or IIT with at least 50% marks, 45% marks in case of candidates belonging to reserved category. So this is one criteria. If you fulfill this criteria, you can take admission into MCA program. The second criteria is any bachelor's degree of minimum 3 years duration from a recognized university, once again with at least 50% marks or 45% marks in case of mathematics, in case of candidates belonging to reserved category, and mathematics as one of the subject at 10+2 level or graduate level. Now such students, in addition to doing MCA, right, are required to do 2 bridge courses. And those 2 bridge courses are, one is programming in C and Python, which is the course code is MCS 201, and MCS 208, which is data structures and algorithms. Both these courses are of IGNOU, and they are to be pursued along with the MCA program. There is a very recent change in the eligibility qualification, right? It will be, it may be visible on our website very, very soon. that the students who do not have mathematics at 10+2 or graduation level, they may also be allowed to pursue MCA program of IGNOU. However, this will be within a span of 1 to 2 weeks. You will be able to see this particular new eligibility criteria onto our admission portal. Other details of MCA program are primarily the medium of instruction happens to be English. So at present only it is on offer in English medium, and the duration of this particular program is 2 years and maximum duration is 4 years. Now what is maximum duration and what is minimum duration? When minimum duration is that if you go on to re-register, so at the time of admission, right, you are just paying the fee of 1 semester. So every semester you re-register for the next semester. So after 1 semester, you will be able to re-register like that. So the minimum duration 2 years and maximum duration means we are providing flexibility to you. So if you are not able to complete the program in 2 years, you can complete this particular program in 4 years. This is offered both in January as well as July admission cycle of IGNOU, and the fee is 48,000 for full program. However, it is to be paid semester wise at the rate of 12,000 rupees per semester. Now, at the time of admission, you pay for the bridge courses also, right? So the fee of bridge courses is rupees 2,000. However, this particular fee may be under revision when those non-math students also come into when that eligibility come into picture. So for the time being, these are some of the details.
One important thing, Akshay, what I would like to tell to the students is that, and prospective students is that, the program duration minimum is 2 years and the maximum 4 years. It means that you get 2 more years. It's not that after completion of 2 years, you will get 4 years. So there should be no misconception about this one. If you complete everything in time, it takes a minimum of 2 years. Then you get 2 more years in case you couldn't complete them in the minimum period. As of the fees for the bridge courses is concerned, when you are going to the admission portal based on your options, whether you are a graduate with mathematics or without mathematics, the fees will vary a bit because the number of bridge courses that you have to pursue. If you have mathematics or 2 bridge courses, in case you don't have mathematics, then there are 3 bridge courses because there will be an additional mathematics course also. Accordingly, the fees will be. Now, let us briefly discuss about the courses that are part of the 4 semesters. There are 4 semesters. It is a semester-based program. You have a total of 4 semesters. So in the first year, that is the first 2 semesters will include core courses. Students will be needing the basic knowledge of programming, operating systems, database technology, computer architecture, and other essential courses for you to pursue the remaining year effectively. So this works basically as a foundation for your 2-year MCA program, and the first year you can treat it as foundation. So all these courses are the 4 courses, and these are the courses which will enable you to pursue the specialized courses such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these things very effectively. Then in the last 2 semesters, that is in the second year, we have specialized courses. We'll be going in detail about the list of these specialized courses and their content to the extent possible. And the most important component is project work. In MCA, in the final semester, apart from a couple of theory courses, you also have a project work. And normally, students are encouraged to do the project work in industry. In case due to any limitations, if you don't want to go to the industry or unable to get in the industry, then definitely you can formulate your own problem with the help of a guide and you can pursue that project. So this project work is in the final semester of the 4th semester MCA program.
Just to inform you that many of you may be thinking that where will we get this basic knowledge of programming, operating system, database technology, and computer organization. First of all, for programming and data structure, you will be doing the bridge courses. However, for the courses like operating system, database technologies, and computer organization, if you want, you can do course-wise registration to these courses. These are being offered by IGNOU as part of PG diploma in computer application, which is also being run along with this. So if you want, you can do these courses also as course by registering these courses and doing them separately if you want to do that. As far as semester 1 courses of MCA is concerned, there are 7 courses in semester 1. And as you can see, why we have kept the prerequisite, it is evident from the very first course, because the first course is design and analysis of algorithm. So if you know data structure, if you have known that particular course well, then only you will be able to design and do this particular course effectively. And remember, this is a very important course when we are talking of industry, because ultimately as MCA, you have got to show better algorithms which show better performances, right? At least you should be able to analyze the performance of many of those courses. So you should, many algorithms. So that is why this course is one of the, what we say, bread and butter course. It starts, it takes you to basics of MCA, but for this, you need to know the data structure. So if you have taken data structure as bridge course, please study it first and then only read this particular course. Then there is a course on discrete mathematics, which basically not only required by the industry, but also is required by the academia. For the academic research, this is a very, very important course. Then you have software engineering course. Software engineering, once again, is very, very important in the industry, so you know about it. But the two very important course which has been given to you in the very first semester, one is professional skills and ethics, which basically will take you further in your entire 2 years, right? So you will be basically given certain skills, like which is related to language, like communication skill, maybe communication in writing, communication in verbal form, and listening. So all these skills will be talked about when you are talking in terms of professional skills and how to communicate to radio, video, audio, like those kinds of things. And one of the most important thing nowadays is ethics, because whether you go to academic world or wherever, the plagiarism and copyright law are very, very important. So ethics has been talked about. The security and cyber law course further appends this particular thing. So this security and cyber law is basically talking about what way you will be behaving when you are dealing with internet and other technologies, and what are the basic cyber laws. So this is going to help you tremendously, not only for the subsequent semesters of MCA, but in your entire career as computer science professional. So you must pay very special attention to these two courses so that you can utilize the skills obtained in these two courses in the remaining semesters of the Masters of Computer Applications. Then you have two additional lab courses. One of them is about design and analysis of algorithm, that is DAA, and web design lab. So web design is coming as a lab course, and then you have a software engineering lab where you will be experiencing, experimenting and doing this particular experimentation along with the theoretical knowledge.
In the second semester, you will be studying the data communication and computer networks. As you know, the mobile had adapted to 4G and even 5G. Many mobiles are now 5G enabled. So in case you want to do programming for the networks, you want to learn about how data communicates and how the communication takes place between various networks, how communication takes place between devices. This is one of the courses, that is data communication and computer networks. Then we have object-oriented analysis and design. You know that Java is an object-oriented programming language, and it is one of the most powerful languages. However, when you are developing software using Java or even C++, it will be good if you have idea of object-oriented analysis and design so that you develop the software in a most efficient manner. So this course is going to be very useful. And then we have web technologies. No need to tell much about this particular course. Everything is on the net. Everything related to the net or internet is included in this particular course, particularly the technologies that make internet really become so much popular. Then we have data warehousing and data mining. This course is very, very important because now you have huge volumes of data everywhere, whether it is the air travel, number of passengers who are traveling almost every day, number of people who are joining hospitals for various ailments, number of people who are traveling by train, everywhere you will be seeing the volume. So how to deal with voluminous data? Various things are covered in this data warehousing and data mining. And by pursuing this particular course and applying the concepts in this course, you will be able to increase your business by doing the proper analysis of the data that is being created due to various activities across the world. Then we also have labs for object-oriented analysis and design as well as web technologies. Then we have a separate lab for the computer networks and data mining.
Well, one particular thing here is that when you are dealing with data mining and data warehousing course, the knowledge of database is going to play a very important role because many times you query databases first and then generate kind of data for the data warehousing and data mining technology. So before you do this particular course, it is advisable that you obtain the knowledge about databases technologies. Now, semester 3 courses are slightly advanced courses in the present way because you are dealing with artificial intelligence and machine learning. And today, nobody can deny the importance of these two courses. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning, applying it at various, be it medical sciences, be it any other area, be it fraud detection, anywhere. People are applying these technologies. So this is a very, very important course. It will be followed by a course like accountancy and financial management. Now, this is another important course where people got to, like most of the applications of computer as far as data science is concerned are going to be in accountancy and financial. I mean, this is going to be one of the modules. So you need to know all these technologies in a sense. Then data science and big data, definitely big data is playing very, very important role these days, and it is being processed with the help of data science to generate important knowledge. So you are moving very beautifully from data mining and data warehousing to artificial intelligence and machine learning along with data science and big data. Then moving on to cloud computing and IoT, because this is the technology for like where exactly the data is going to be stored, and IoT, how the different devices can be linked and how smart devices can be linked to your data systems. And this particular, all these courses are going to be supported by the practicals along with it. We have not included practicals on accountancy and financial management, but that you can do as whenever you need that particular practical of your own. But otherwise, we have included the practical knowledge of AI and machine learning as well as cloud and data science lab.
In the final semester, you have project component wherein you are expected to apply all the concepts that you learned in the remaining semesters. And then you also have two additional courses in this particular semester. They are digital image processing and computer vision. This is one of the most advanced courses. And then you have mobile computing, wherein the most of the content is related to the advanced networks, including the mobile internet protocol and other things. So project is of 12 credits, and you can see the courses each are of 4 credits. Whatever you studied in your MCA till then is expected to be applied in the project. And when you go for any interview, they ask you first about the project. What is the project you have done and where you have done? So project is something that needs to be taken very seriously and needs to be done using the advanced technologies or latest technologies so that the project experience can be counted as work experience wherever applicable when you go to the industry.
Now, so far we have talked about the various courses which you will be doing, but then how we will be delivering those courses to you? In IGNOU, we follow a slightly different approach than the formal universities. So this is the open and distance learning university. It is more learner oriented, and the students have to be active participants in teaching learning process. It comprises of suitable mix of number one, self-instructional, printed or electronic material. At present, all the electronic material is available on the IGNOU website for you. Audio video programs transmitted through All India Radio, through Doordarshan, and audio video cassettes at the study centers. So when at the study center, these kinds of programs are, the audio video cassettes can be seen several times. Then face-to-face counseling at the study center by academic counselor. This is in general counseling which is conducted at the study center. And in the present time of the COVID, you may find out whether from your regional center about this particular information. Then there is a web-based academic support. There are assignments. Assignments are part of continuous evaluation. They are very important component, because if you do assignments well, the chances of completing the program also becomes very, very high. Then practicals, once again, you may contact the nearest regional center to find out whether how the practicals are being conducted. However, there are compulsory attendance requirement of 75% as far as practicals are concerned. Then you have Gyandarshan and Gyanvani channel, which includes teleconferencing, a club. However, in most of these, you have to rely mostly on self-instructional material or self-instruction printed or electronic material, and you may have to rely on assignments, practicals a little bit. Okay.
Now, one of the most important component of your study of MCA with IGNOU is the classes. They are called counseling sessions technically in this particular jargon. And for every 2 credit theory course, there will be 3 counseling sessions of 2 hours duration each. So if you have a course with 2 credits, there will be a total of 6 hours counseling. If it is a 4 credit course, then there will be 6 counseling sessions of 2 hours duration each. So the course is of 4 credits, you get a total of 12 hours of counseling. The difference between the counseling and the classes in any other university is that in the case of counseling, you are expected to prepare a bit at home and come. Basically, counseling sessions focus more on the interaction, but not on coverage of each and every topic in detail. So for a 2 credit theory course, if there are a total of 6 hours, you will be having the topics that are covered during each session, and then you should not expect that those topics are going to be taught elaborately in the time, but you are expected to study in advance and then come, so that any doubts related to those topics can be clarified, and where there are no doubts, the academic counselor will cover various aspects related to the topic. There are 20 practical sessions for every 2 credit lab course, and each session is of 3 hours duration. So if the lab course is of 2 credits, you get a total of 120 hours of lab time. So 120 hours of computer you get at your center if the credits for that particular course are 2 hours. And if the counseling session is not being held at the study center, then you will get the session in another mode for equivalent time. 75% attendance in practical sessions are compulsory.
Now, one particular thing which I would like to talk about is the counseling sessions, right? Now, you may have noticed here is that there are just 6 hours, right, for a 4 credit course. Now, what 4 credit course means? 4 credit course is a semester course, right? So, in one, typically as per UGC norms, so there will be around 45 lectures as far as 4 credit course are concerned. So, 4 lectures per week kind of situation. That means that is the kind of effort which you have to make or you have to do as far as studies are concerned. So accordingly, you got to devote a lot of time in your studies, and the number of hours which you can see for 4 credit courses are going to be just 12, maximum 12 hours as far as counseling sessions are concerned. So please don't expect lectures, right? As Professor Suresh talked about, you got to be fully prepared, you got to be reading the content, and you should be basically asking your doubts in those counseling sessions. So they are basically, in a sense, remedial teaching rather than lecturing. So because if you just rely that somebody is going to take lectures, then what is going to happen? The entire syllabus, number one, cannot be covered. Only few topics can be discussed, and that is not going to help you much. So you must come prepared when you are doing the counseling sessions. Now, as far as number of overall counseling sessions, this is the table, and this table basically talks about that number of theory counseling sessions and number of practical counseling sessions. So you can see there are substantial amount of theory as far as practical. However, they are not equivalent to the number of lectures which in a formal university system would be. So it is going to be much less than that. Okay.
Now let us come to the evaluation scheme. In the case of a theory course, there will be one assignment, then there will be one term and examination. There will be 30% weightage for the assignment, 70% weightage for the term and examination. So in total, when you are being evaluated for a theory course for 100 marks, 30 marks are for assignment and 70 marks are for the final examination. In the case of the practical course or a lab course, the weightage is same. Assignment is for again 30% and the term and examination is for 70%. Finally, you have project work wherein the Viva component carries 50 marks and your project report evaluation will give you a maximum of 150 marks. So in total, 200 marks are given for the project.
Now, before we wind up and we talk about the for more information, just to want to inform you that in IGNOU, as far as MCA program is concerned, which is MCA the ODL mode, the Viva VOCE is a compulsory component of your assignment. So it is going to once again enhance your communication skills. So the better you are prepared for your assignment, the better you are doing the assignments, the better are going to be your communication skills by expressing yourself. So that is what is going to prepare you for the after 2 years you will be prepared for any kind of interviews, especially technical side, right? So that is, I mean, take it very seriously. This is a very important component. And in addition, in practical, we have lab lab work also is evaluated. So along with the assignments, assignment is 50% weightage and your lab work is also given some weightage. So you've got to submit those kinds of things. Now, how to reach us, right? So you can download our common prospectus from IGNOU website from the student zone, and there is a download section in the student zone where you can download the common prospectus and go through the basics, like what is IGNOU model and how ODL in ODL mode the programs are going to be delivered, all these courses which we have talked about, right? So the program structure, etc., everything is in the common prospectus. How to take admission, what are the various various things which you have to fill up in the form, and so on and so forth, right? And when you want to take admission, it is through IGNOU admission portal, right? So IGNOU admission portal, if you visit IGNOU homepage, then there is an alert section and you will find a link to admission portal of IGNOU, right? So you can take admission, and if you are more interested about IGNOU like MCA program, then especially in ODL mode, then you can visit the School of Computer and Information Sciences web page, which is once again under the IGNOU website. And within the School of Computer and Information Science, in the program, you will find the something called program guide, which you can download, and program guide will talk about all the details which we have discussed in this particular session.
So we thank you all for joining us in today's Facebook live session about the MCA program. And in the comment section, in case there are any queries about the MCA program, we will be responding today itself. And in case you have any queries about the MCA program, you can always get in touch with us on mca@ignou.ac.in. Of course, IGNOU website is having complete information about the MCA program. When you go to the admission portal, when you click on the program information at the top of the admission portal, then you get the list of all programs that are offered by the IGNOU. In the search box, you just type MCA, you will get the MCA_new. Click on it, you get the complete information, all details, and in case you need further information, as I mentioned, you can always get in touch with us through email. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.